Today I will talk about a symbiotic association, very interesting one. Symbiotic association. Symbiotic association means give and take policy. So in symbiotic association, two different organisms participate, and one and each other both are benefited, and a give and take policy is also takes place in this association. Actually, I talk about the lichen, which is a very interesting symbiotic association, which also found in the lower plant groups. So lichens actually are the association, good association in between the fungi, that is mycobiont, and algae, that is the phycobiont. So we know that actually algae or phycobiont are responsible for the food synthesis, and fungi, that is mycobiont, which are responsible for the mineral absorption. So these two organisms, that is fungi and algae, live together in intimate connection. This is very important, intimate association, forming a compound thallus-like structure. Thallus means this is a type of structure we cannot distinguish the different portion of organism. So this one also is a thallus-like structure, which is formed by the algae and fungi, which is also known as consortium. So in fungal component of the lichen is known as mycobiont, and the algal component is known as photobiont or phycobiont. And on the basis of different scientists, they have proposed the green algae and cyanobacteria participate in this symbiotic association, but there are so many algae may also participate in this association. So lichen can be defined as a stable self-supporting association. A stable self-supporting association in between the fungi and algae. Okay. Stable association and self-supporting, that is both can support each other for the formation of a special structure, which is known as lichen. So the composition actually mycobiont and phycobiont. The mycobiont belong to the Ascomycotina, rarely of the Deuteromycotina, Basidiomycotina. The phycobiont is normally member of the Cyanophyceae, often less commonly Chlorophyceae. I have told about their composition. Next come to the different morphology and anatomy of the lichen thallus. Nowadays, there are specially 5 categories are present of the lichen thallus, which is also described by the Houseworth and Hill in 1984. I just briefly discuss about these categories. First one is the crustoch lichen. Crustoch lichen. The crustoch lichen is very closely adhered to the substratum. Substratum means on which the lichen adhere. This is known as substratum. So in crustoch lichen, very closely adhered to the substratum and provides a crust-like structure. As the structure like that of the crust, this is known as crustoch lichen. In this lichen, algal cells are covered by the fungal layer. That is, algal cells are completely covered by the fungal layer. It is very difficult to separate this lichen from the substratum. That is closely adhere. I just use this term, closely adhered to the substratum. Some examples of this lichen are Caloplasa, Lecanora. These are the crustoch lichen. Number 2, foliage lichen. The term foliage, that is flat leaf-like structure. We know that foliage related to the leaf-like structure. So this lichen is uh, uh, also look like the leaf-like structure, flat and irregular margin. And the thallus is attached to the substratum with the help of rhizoid-like structure, form a leafy in nature. Some example are the Phaeacia, Peltigera, Phaeacia and Peltigera. This is the second. Third one, Leproch lichen. Leproch. This is the simplest type of lichen, and here the fungal hyphae or fungal component does not envelop the algal component or algal cell. This type of simple lichen grows superficially over the substratum and provide a powdery structure, powdery appearance. That's why it is known as leproch. Due to its powdery appearance, this is known as leproch. Example is the lepraria. Fourth one, fruity coach. This type of lichen is very in shape. They are well branched, erect, sometimes bushy in structure. So these are the different shaped lichen. Well branch may be sometimes erect, bushy structure, or twin likes appear. This is known as fruticose. And example of the fruticose lichen is usnea, cladonia. These are the example of fruticose. The last one is the fifth one, filamentous lichen. Uh, in the term filamentous, it can explain that the fungus has main role in the formation of this structure, because fungal hyphae present always in the form of filamentous in nature. So here the fungal hyphae responsible for the main structure formation. That's why this is known as filamentous lichen. Example is that Rhacodium and Ephiba. So these are the different types of lichen on their morphology and anatomy. Um, uh, Reproduction of lichen. If we talk about the reproduction of lichen, the reproduction maybe takes place by the fragmentation, by the isidium formation, by the conidia and oidia formation. And in the case of sexual reproduction, the reproduction takes place by ascolichen, by the formation of ascospore, and basidiolichen by the formation of basidiospore. Okay, these are the different modes of reproduction. One is the fragmentation by the isidium formation, conidia and oidia formation, ascospore formation, and basidiospore formation. So these are the different reproductive way takes place by the lichen, actually fungal part. And in case of algal part, different akinete, hormogonia, these are formed. So let's come to the economic importance of the lichen. There are different types and different economic importance, and that is economically lichens are very important, and their use are in different field. The first one is the food. Cetraria icelandica is known as Iceland moss. Cetraria icelandica is known as Iceland moss, which is used as food. Rather than the Lecanora, Parmelia, Cladonia. These are very much randomly used as the as food. Next, drug development. Lobaria and Cetraria. These are used in the treatment of tuberculosis and lung disease. So, tuberculosis and lung disease, these are very important role of lichen in the drug development. And another one is the Usno, is also developed from the lichen. This is antiseptic cream. Usno. Okay, next is the dye formation. Litmus paper is prepared from the Lasalia pustulata. Lasalia pustulata, litmus paper. Okay, which are used in laboratory as acid base indicator. Next, dhoop formation. Dhoop. Perfumes are manufactured from the Ivarnia, uh, which is used as a dhoop at the time of religious ceremonies. Next, biochemical weathering. Actually, mycobiont, that is fungal partner of the crustose lichen, secretes some soluble organic acid which is known as oxalic acid. By this activity, the chemistry of the rocks on which lichen occur can change, which is called biological weathering. So this is an important question: what is biological weathering? Next, natural products. Lichens produce many natural products such as lecanoric acid, salaginic acid, usnic acid, benzyl ester, etc. So these are the economic importance, that is food formation, drug formation, dye formation, dhoop formation, biochemical weathering, and different natural products. Uh, Sometimes lichens also responsible for the nitrogen fixation with blue-green algae. Okay. So I just talk about some common Indian lichens. Listen this. Crustose lichen, example Graphis and Lecanora. Crustose lichen, example Graphis and Lecanora. Foliose lichen, Parmella and Phycia. Fruticoch, Usnia and Ramalina. These are the common Indian lichen. So, I talk about the character of the lichen, definition of the lichen, their different morphology, their reproductive mode, how they reproduce, and their economic importance, as well as some common Indian lichens. Okay, so you have any question or any query related to this, you can post in the comment section. Thank you.